Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Friday, November 15th, 2024. This is The Drop. I'm Jay Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, back from the Bay, it's my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Heyo.
Heyo. And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Shout out to everybody joining us live on YouTube. We love it. Hit the like button, subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star ratings and reviews. Good trip to see Klay Thompson's return to take on the Golden State Warriors.
I just feel blessed to have been in that arena.
Wow.
I don't think we're going to get many better regular season moments than that. It was incredible.
Yeah. And a cup game to boot.
Oh, you got to respect the cup, Skeets. And it came down to like Steph Curry doing Steph Curry stuff.
Yeah.
It was awesome. 5 stars for me.
Okay, but all I really care about, how was that Waymo experience?
Oh.
The autonomous vehicle
The
driving
autonomous
you and Esh.
vehicle, yes. The main thing you do when you're in a Waymo is talk about how crazy it is. Like, look at that, there's nobody up there, man. We should sit in the front if we want. But it was funny because, like, it actually a little bit felt like a human was driving it. We, oddly enough, got stuck behind, like, the bus that was taking the Mavs to the arena. And it was tough. It was tough from a little Waymo to get into the lane, so it'd be like, just jerking back and forth, just little jerks.
Do Waymos get road rage?
I was wondering. I was kind of like hoping somebody would cut us off to see what happened. We had like one quick stop, but everything else felt pretty smooth.
Okay.
And they're coming to Atlanta, not the Waymo specifically, but driverless Lyft next year.
Okay.
Those would have some rage, I think. I think those would be bound to be a little bit more upset.
A little more insane.
Yeah. That would be a little scary here in the city, I think.
I didn't know you could sit in the front seat.
I think so.
Could you sit in the driver's seat?
I think so.
Whoa.
I was too scared.
Whoa.
I kept it in the back. But, man, it was
fascinating.
It makes you feel a little bit like a celebrity because when the thing pulls up or when you're getting out of the car, people are taking pictures the whole time. Because there's nobody in the front seat. It looks weird. I was like, yeah, what's up? Subscribe to No Dunks, please. Didn't know there were so many podcast fans out here.
Yeah. Okay, good branding for us. Just drive around in Waymos, tell everybody to listen to No Dunks.
Pop out with a QR code.
Well, great stuff. Yeah, you got a great game there earlier this week. We only had one game on last night. We can touch on this briefly because it featured a fun / interesting finish. I guess fun if you're a Jazz fan. Maybe a little more interesting or rage-inducing if you are a Mavericks fan. John Collins scored the last of his 28 points on a game-winning dunk with about 6 seconds left to give the Jazz their first home victory of the season, 115-113 over the Mavericks. And this was the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know what they were doing on the final defensive possession. Luka, sort of in no man's land, flat-footed. You had Jordan Clarkson up top, Tass. Najee Marshall was playing him, but hands down. And eventually, Jordan Clarkson's like, look, and he's like, holy crap, nobody's guarding John Collins. Let me just zip this pass in here, and he gets the easy dunk. And then everybody's going, what the hell was Dallas doing? What are they thinking? And then Luka talked about it after the game. But weird, another really close, tough loss here for the Mavs.
Yeah, 4 in a row for the Mavs. It was weird to see Luka guarding John Collins, but not guarding John Collins, and just kind of fall asleep there for a sec, because on the replays on the Jazz broadcast, you could see Jordan Clarkson look at John and say, roll. I'm reading his lips, but I assume say, just move, because the guy who's guarding you isn't guarding you. And it's surprising with Luka, especially having lost 3 in a row, you want to win a game. And he was having a great game offensively to just fall asleep there. And then going the other way, he had the opportunity to hit either the game tying or game winning shot, and he didn't shoot it. He was kind of doubled, sort of, but he gave it to Najee Marshall, who airballed it in the corner. Just weird from Jason Kidd overall. You start Derek Lively for the first time just to try things out, I think, and that didn't work for the Dallas Mavericks because the Jazz were just playing harder. John Collins now in the starting lineup for 2 straight games. That guy can ball. He can still ball. He was great in
John
this game.
Collins is back, baby.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. He's the vet leader now.
I know.
He was good. Yeah. He was just good throughout the entire game, and they were up 16 points. So the Mavs did come back in this game.
Yeah.
And it was a fun game for Utah Jazz fans. They were excited to win their first game at home this season.
Yeah. Luka said after the game, quote, "That was a misunderstanding." He's obviously talking about the final defensive possession. "I thought I was going to go hit, and Grimes thought he was going to go hit. We misunderstood the bench. That's on me." So he was confused as to maybe who was going to go help out.
It did
Najee
look like
Marshall
some confusion.
on Jordan Clarkson. It absolutely did.
Yeah.
Still, pretty embarrassing way to lose when you think about it. In games that you've just lost 3 in a row by 1 possession, to lose this one just because of a defensive brain fart. Any thoughts on how they lost?
4 straight losses by 8 total points. That's
Yeah.
crazy for the Mavs, and that's kind of been the story of their season so far. They're just not as good in the clutch as they were last season. I think they're 1-6 to start the year, so they've played 7 of their 12 games, have gone down to clutch situations. They're giving up easily on the defensive end, and then they're just not scoring as well. I think a lot of that is that Luka just hasn't been full Luka, I don't think, so far this season. But yeah, I need to hear from James Harden on this one. Preseason, he said, "I saw Luka Doncic go to the finals playing the way I played." This is also the way James Harden played. You do not see this kind of brain fart all that often these days because you're going to get killed on Twitter if it happens,
Yeah.
and this was a really, really bad one. Luka, maybe he misunderstood what the bench was saying, but he guarded no one.
No.
Yeah,
He wasn't
no.
near anybody.
I'm still confused because there's one man who's close to the basket in John Collins, and Luka was the only defensive man. So how do you think that it's Quentin Grimes' job? Because Quentin Grimes is near the 3-point line, and then when it happens, Quentin Grimes turns to the bench, puts his arms up. What was
Yeah.
how?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense. Luka can just take one step and try and bat the ball, and he's assigned to John Collins because he doesn't have to run all that much defensively. He just has to stand there. And this is a great game for Luka. He's had 37 points. It just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and Lively is also on the back line, but he's shading to the other side of the court because I think it was Philip Bukowski in the corner, so you got to sort of respect that. So he's like, he made a late rotation to try and challenge Collins, but Collins did the quick dunk wisely. So yeah, you said the Mavs really struggling here this season in the clutch. They're -12 in 27 clutch minutes. They've lost a lot of them, as you went and pointed out. Last season, the Mavs were the second best clutch team in the league by record at 23-9. And they were number 3 by net rating. They were +20 in those clutch minutes. Shout out to Ziller for that stat here this morning. So yeah, a glaring difference. Maybe it sort of bounces back to the mean a little bit as the season goes on. But as we keep saying in the Western Conference, these losses to bad teams for these teams that have plans to be in the postseason, be it the Mavs, losing this one, or maybe some of these other close ones, be it the Wolves losing back-to-back to the Blazers, they could come back to bite you in the ass when it's a logjam. And one game could decide 4th place in the West or, 8th place in the West. Who knows? It could be that close. So, yeah, really weird. But I guess at least he took or apologized. I don't know. What do you call that? What he said after. He sort of said it was my fault.
My bad.
Didn't specifically say it was just his fault, but there was a misunderstanding between maybe the bench and Grimes.
He's
and
like, "What?
him.
You don't expect me to play defense, right?" I mean, this one's on Grimes. He's the defender.
Yeah, right. Especially, no Kyrie Irving for the Dallas Mavericks. So, yeah, Luka having to do a lot more offensively. But, yeah, fun win for the Jazz fans to finally get the one in their own barn.
It was nice. Yeah. John Collins was talking to the Jazz fans after the game. He was doing his interview and just giving some love to Jazz fans because this guy, he's still young. It feels like he's been in trade rumors, with the Hawks here forever. He's only 27. He's still going to get another big contract.
John Collins is only 27?
Yes, unless I misread that. Unless I misread it
right, man.
like Luka
crazy,
misreading
actually.
a defensive play. But yeah, he's 27 and only 53 days.
Oh, wow.
So he's got this year and then a player option next year. I don't know where he's going to be. I don't know if the Jazz are just saying, hey, we're trying to get Cooper Flagg, and then we'll be good with Markkanen and John Collins and Flipowski, who looked good.
He's looked good the last 2 games for them.
He can defend, for sure. He stole a ball from Clay. This is a big man. He can shoot the 3, and he can put it on the floor, and he can defend all positions. So, yes.
I definitely thought John Collins was closer to 30 than closer to 27.
He's in his prime.
He's absolutely in his prime. He's balling right now. All right. Because there was only one game on, this left sort of an opening here to talk about whatever we wanted here today on the drop. And I thought it'd be just like a fun thought exercise to go through and look at last year's All-Stars, debate who are locks moving forward this year, and then talk it through a little bit. And I want to make this very clear. This is not like projecting who will be the 24 All-Stars come February. It's not that. I think it's more, again, looking at last year's rosters, who are the automatics probably moving forward in 25, and then like shining some light on players who 3 weeks into the season are playing at an All-Star level. Will they continue to be there come January when we start actually making these teams? Maybe, maybe not, but we'll have some fun with this. So let's start in the Eastern Conference. We'll show you last year's All-Stars. I know you're looking at this board on YouTube going, what the hell? There's 14 names here, Skeets. Well, yeah, we had a couple injury replacements, and we had Trae Young and Scotty Barnes as those replacements for Embiid and Randall. But it was, for the podcast listener, Halliburton, Lillard, Giannis, Tatum, Embiid, who obviously got injured, Brunson, Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Banchero, Jaylen Brown, Bam Adebayo, Julius Randle, who got injured, and then, like I said, Trae Young and Scotty Barnes. So that's 14. I think when you consider all of the injuries in the East this year, and again, we have to look at this as if we're sort of talking about the All-Star team and making it right now. You're losing Embiid, you're losing Banchero, unfortunately. Maxey's injured and didn't have the greatest of seasons because he has to do so much. Scotty Barnes, there's a lot of guys. Tell me if I'm wrong, and we'll circle them here. I think there's only 4 guaranteed to return to the All-Star game in 25 in the Eastern Conference. We circled Giannis, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Jaylen Brown. Does that feel right to you, TK? Again, this is just lock them in that they're very likely going to be All-Stars from last year's previous All-Star team.
I agree on all 4 of those.
Okay.
I would probably add Jalen Brunson to the mix. I find it unlikely he misses the All-Star game.
Okay.
Even though he hasn't had a hot start to the season. He's going to get some high votes, so maybe he even gets in on the vote, though Knicks fans usually don't send their guys to the starting lineup. No offense. Just hasn't happened yet, but I think he'll still make it there.
Yeah. Put a pin in that because I think you're right. And as we talk this through, we'll see if Tass agrees, whether you'd have him on your roster. So if it's those 4 locks, though, let's say we don't include Brunson for the thought experiment. 8 open spots. Okay? I think there are 5 guys that have made a very strong case right now as almost locks, again, 3.5 weeks in. Darius Garland.
Of course.
Really, we get into how many Cavaliers are locks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you should have 3, considering how far they are ahead of third place. In this,
yes.
The Celtics and Lakers. Celtics and Cavs. Yeah, they need to be looked at. Obviously, it's Tatum and Brown on the one team, but then, the Cavs, Garland is there for sure.
Yes.
Along with Mitchell. Do you squeeze another in? Is it Mobley? It would be Mobley for me.
Yeah, when I was asking the question, I was like, are you taking 3 Cavs or are you taking 4 Cavs? Because of Jarrett Allen. But 3, I'm with you. I think Darius Garland leading the 13-0 Cavs as their point guard, given a 21-7 every night, huge in the clutch this season. He's a lock. And then Evan Mobley, I'm with you. Especially when you consider defensively what he brings for them. He gives you 18 and 9. He's got a steal, block and a half a game. He feels to me like right now, again, this is right now, that he would be there. They haven't lost a game.
When's the last time a team had 3 All-Stars?
Those Bucks, did they squeeze in a third with Giannis Middleton and was it now
Drew Holiday, maybe?
Yeah,
that is a good question. Last time.
I mean,
literally, is it the Warriors with Steph, KD, and either Draymond or Clay? I don't remember who was the All-Star. It's just hard to get 3 guys in. That's all I'm saying. But I made a long list for both conferences. It's 25 deep on both sides. So I think, Mobley is reasonable. I think he should be an All-Star if they stopped it right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so, we agree with that. Garland, Mobley, if you stopped it right now, their team hasn't lost. That makes sense. Karl Anthony Towns, I believe, is a lock. His numbers are nuts. 26, 12, and 3, shooting splits of 54, 51 from deep, and 82 at the line. He has played incredibly well in Madison Square Garden and for this Knicks franchise. They're not off to the hottest start in the world, but there's no one going, well, it's because of Cat. Okay, hold on. There are some people saying our defense has fallen off a little bit, maybe because of Cat having to play the 5, but offensively, Tass, what he's doing, what he's delivering, he feels like a lock.
Yeah.
As a guy right now in the Eastern Conference. And was a lock in the Western Conference last year. An All-Star in the Western Conference last year.
I do think so. Okay. Brunson's going to get there, though, for sure. I think. For sure? Yeah, I think so. I think there's no question.
But would you pick a... Well, okay. Again, for sure will he get there come January, February? Yeah, but this is like, would he make it right now? There's a lot of guards as we're going to go through here. LaMelo Ball, just under 30 points per game right now. A whole bunch of threes, whole bunch of three-point attempts. I think he's very close to a lock. And then Tyler Hero, I wanted to pitch at you guys, averaging 25, 5, and 5 with really elite efficiency. Tyler Hero ranking like top 20 in player efficiency rating is crazy. So I have sort of Ball. So Garland, Mobley, Cat, Ball, and Hero feel like right now are sort of at the top of the list. TK's nodding along. I know we're gonna have other names here, and then you like the Brunson move, of course, too. But.
I mean, LaMelo was on my list, absolutely, but I don't know. It doesn't necessarily feel like an all-star to me. The Hornets aren't that great, but LaMelo is putting up crazy stats right now. I just, who knows,
Well, it's funny you said the Hornets are not all that great. I mean, nobody in the Eastern Conference is all that great. So, which makes us.
But I don't know, I guess LaMelo is more of an all-star than Paolo Banchero is since Paolo's hurt.
Yeah,
Paolo's better and was having a better season to start.
Yeah, the big injury bug here is makes this sort of interesting. Other guards in play, Cade Cunningham, right? He's averaging 24, 7, 8.5. His clutch numbers I brought up the other day, they're rough. You'd love to see that bounce back, but he's got the Pistons winning some games here. Jalen Brunson, you guys talked about. Trae Young and Damian Lillard still have good numbers. Those guys are a little banged up right now. Zach LaVine, TK, very similar to Tyler Hero.
Yep.
Like in terms of stats, efficiency. Cam Thomas, Derek White, Grady Dick. These are just guards. These are just guards that I'm throwing out there. There's a bunch. That's why your list got up to 25.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Of all those names, like guards-wise, did anyone jump out besides Brunson, that you're like, they should be in there?
I think Schroeder should be mentioned as a name.
The guy
fair.
right now.
The guy is balling. I mean, I know there are no extremely good teams here. There's 3 teams that are above 500. The Nets seem to be there for a while. Now they have dropped off, but yeah, he's balling. 49 from the floor, 46 from 3. So if they if there's always teams in the Eastern Conference now. If you reach 500, you might get a guy in this really weird, really weird conference.
Regarding Zach LaVine, I saw Drew Stevens tweet, and I think TK retweeted it. LaVine is boast good true shooting percentage of 63% and 60% in the 2 seasons he made the All-Star teams. 9 games in here to his 11th campaign, he's at 66.5 true shooting percentage. And he has a really good plus-minus for him, too. Things are positive when he's out there this year. Again, he's averaging 23, 5, and 4, sort of hero-like numbers and really good efficiency. In doing this exercise, I was like, Zach LaVine right now, I think is an all-star. Because
I love to hear it.
He is. He is, and hey, maybe that helps the trade value.
He's playing to take a trip somewhere. It does feel like maybe the All-Star game, maybe another team. Yeah. Let's see. If people didn't know about Zach LaVine's contract, he would have a much different rep around the NBA. That's the only thing people ever say about Zach LaVine. Oh yeah, but he's owed all this money down the line. He's been like a 50, 40, 90 guy, scoring 27 a game for season after season after season. Right now he's shooting 50% from 3. That ain't gonna keep up. But if he's healthy, he can score.
Yeah.
The problem is when you get down to the last 2 minutes, my guy is just making some decisions. He threw a bounce pass off the floor straight up against the Knicks, and they still somehow pulled out the win.
Little odd. If you focus on bigs in the East, I think the pool is smaller, but some names I would throw at you. Pascal Siakam is averaging still 21, 7, and 4, strong shooting percentages. He feels like he would be the Indy representative ahead of Halliburton, who
I thought so.
Has had a weird season.
Yeah.
Jared Allen, we talked about, hey, do you just have to include the other guy on the Cavs because they haven't lost? I mean, it feels like, does Jared Allen have a better case than Bam Adebayo right now?
Probably.
Yeah. And then Vucci Baby's still good for 20 and 10s. He's not making it, but he's always giving you 20 and 10s.
I couldn't even put him on my list.
Yeah,
I know. I was like, it's been a fun start to the season for Vuce, actually making the wide open threes that he had all last year. But I don't think he's going to be shooting 50 from 3 by the time we get to February. But I love that he's getting a mention right now.
Oh, man. He high-fived Karl Anthony Towns when Towns shot it the other day, and they held hands. I mean, what if these two guys get together and make the All-Star game?
Wow.
They just hold hands
during the game
and walk all the way up there as you guys get announced together.
And then the only other name that I wanted to show some love to, and a part of it was because of Paolo, being injured here over the last couple weeks, is Franz Wagner. who has really turned it on late. We said on the pod yesterday, I think it was, over his last 5 games, Franz is averaging 28, 6, and 6. And so that's helped his numbers bump up here a little bit. So I think he's in the mix. Yeah. So I think that's all unless there's any other names.
No.
I mean, you slipped into Schroeder. That was a good one. Any other names I missed?
If you're saying Grady Dick, I'm saying Bilal Coulibaly.
Okay.
I'll see your dick and raise you a Bilal.
That is fair.
And
I only said Dick because I didn't want the Raptors fans coming at me.
Don't worry, man. He made the very last slot on my list. But look, if Bilal Coulibaly could play against the Hawks every single game, he would be probably starting the All-Star game. They are 2-8, and their 2 wins are against Atlanta in back-to-back games, and he had like career highs in both games.
Yeah. So I guess my East All-Stars right now would be this. The starters would be Garland and Donovan Mitchell in the backcourt. I'd go Tatum and Giannis as my forwards, and then Karl Anthony Towns would be my center. My reserves, and I tried to stick to the 2-3-2, right? 2 guards, 3 bigs, 2 wild cards. I would go right now LaMelo, Tyler Hero, Jaylen Brown, Evan Mobley, Pascal Siakam, Zach LaVine, and then I went back and forth between Cunningham and Franz Wagner. I literally couldn't decide. But and Brunson, you guys made a good point. Like, ooh, yeah. If Brunson had hit that game winner the other night, that would have helped his case. Yeah, Brunson's got to be in the mix too. But anyway, there's a lot of names. Overall, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Good.
It's fun. 23 days in picking All-Stars.
Hell yeah.
A lot of guys get mentioned.
Let's go to the West, because there's way fewer options moving forward here. Here's last year's 2024 West All-Stars. Luka, SGA, KD, LeBron, and Jokic all started. Booker, Curry, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi, Towns, and Anthony Davis were your reserves. No injury replacements in the Western Conference last year.
Wow.
Which is insane when you see a board with, Kawhi, AD, PG. Sort of nuts.
That is weird.
So, I think we have potentially 8 West locks, maybe even 9 to make it back to the All-Star game. And we have to sort of remove Towns because we talked about him in the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm circling here. We're circling who, again, I think are sort of locks to make it again. The entire starting lineup, Luka, SGA, Durant. Now he is injured. It's probably an injury that's only going to keep him out a couple more games. LeBron and Jokic, no brainer. And then Curry, Ant, and AD as the reserves to make it again. The one I was torn about circling or not was Booker. So I left him uncircled just to have some more fun with naming some other guys. But what do you think about that one, TK?
Yeah, I would say Booker not a lock for me right now, but maybe as time progresses, especially with Kevin Durant missing time here, I think all those guys you named, they are going to make the team.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The question I would have looking at that is you think Curry would start over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now? I imagine Curry would win the fan vote over Shai at least.
Yeah, but would he win the other? That's close. That'd be bang bang. Right now. Probably.
I think so.
With the Warriors' record, the
Warriors are playing well. Steph just had the awesome game against the Mavs. If the ballot boxes were open, I'm sure people would be flooding in. And Shai is kind of chugging along right now. I think the story of the Thunder thus far this season has been how good their defense is. Obviously, Chet went down with an injury, but bringing in new pieces and how much of a contender they look like. I assume Shai will start scoring 30 a game, hitting better from 3 and that kind of stuff, but he's just been good to start the season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Would you pick Curry starting over SGA right now?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're entering the era of Steph's career where he continues to get number 1 in the fan vote in the Western Conference. Period. He'll take over for the LeBron, as LeBron has been doing that the last few years because he's LeBron, but Curry will take that at some point. So that factors in because when you think about the All-Star starters, it ain't just votes anymore. It's not just fan votes. It's players and media get their 25% in. So, but I do think Steph will be there. That's the thing. When I mentioned LeBron, we're going to have likely, again, 2 Lakers that are going to be there on a team that could be 500. Because it's LeBron James, and because he has been able to do the thing that Reggie Miller has always said, Father Time has never been beaten. Well, LeBron's beaten him every year, and LeBron gets in. But I do think Devin Booker right now, because when you do factor in win-loss records, you have to. You should. They're 9-3. I think Durant and Booker would be there. I know Booker's numbers aren't ridiculously good, but I think they'd get a couple in.
Okay, well, if we don't lock Booker, and maybe he will make our sort of very dumb early team here, just to speak on LeBron, because I immediately was like, I'm not going to circle LeBron. I don't know if he's a lock. But then it's like, first off, he's of course going to make it. I know that's not the actual point of this exercise, but you know he's going to be there. But then you look at his numbers. He's still averaging 24 points per game, 8 boards, 9.5 assists, 52 from the floor, 46 from deep. Like, these are, I mean, obviously one of still the best players when you're looking at PER and all that. It's like, there was no reason not to include him. He's still one of the best players, as insane as it is.
He's the older player to have 3 triple-doubles in a row.
Yeah. Whose record did he beat?
I don't know.
His own.
Oh.
It's nuts. So
well, he now has the all-time record for most field goals attempted, most shots ever in the NBA.
Wow.
Also most turnovers.
Wow.
And most points, of course.
Yes. And this would be his 21st consecutive All-Star game because he's at 20. The only year he didn't make it was his rookie year. Okay, so he's there. So 4 open spots in the West, all right, if we don't lock in Booker. We need some bigs here. We need some forwards or centers. So I would like to make the case that Sabonis would be a lock right now to be on the All-Star team. He's averaging 20 points per game, 12.5 boards, 7 assists. He's shooting 64% from the field. Sabonis hasn't been an All-Star in a couple of years. I think it was 22-23. And his output is even better than it was then. So Sabonis got the thumbs up from the boys here in the factory. Yeah, especially as one of the bigs. Okay, so that's 3 open spots now. I broke it into guards, to wings, and then centers. I'll give you the guards who are in play. Booker, as we talked about. DeMar DeRozan, De'Aaron Fox, so both from the Kings. Kyrie Irving. And then I did the old maybe Ja Morant and Jalen Green. A little tip of the cap to those gentlemen. But I really feel more confident about Booker, DeRozan, Fox, and Kyrie. Potential forwards. Norman Powell, baby. Norman Powell, 25 points per game because he's hitting half of his threes.
He's crazy right now.
I went and checked. I was like, just curious, like, okay, I'm talking about putting Norman Powell on my All-Star team right now. How would his numbers compare to like Paul George's last year, who made the team, as we showed you? They're like comparable. They're better in some categories. So Norman Powell's in the mix. I think J-Dub, Jalen Williams of the Thunder, especially now as their 6'6" center. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then again, maybes. These are maybes. They're not probably going to make it right now. Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram. Okay. And then centers, Wembanyama, Alperen Şengün, and again, a maybe, Jaren Jackson Jr. Is there anyone I'm missing that you would include from any of those categories?
Draymond Green?
This guy likes defense.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but he's been awesome. The Warriors are winning a lot of games because of defense, and he's maybe been... It's like him or Wembanyama have been the best defensive player in the league this year. He was dominant in the fourth quarter against the Mavericks. You don't see a lot of just defense selections because we've got so many talented offensive players, but he made my list, and I think that's the only name you didn't mention.
Okay. And then Tass, including Draymond, I guess, of those names I'm throwing out there, was there anyone that you were like, that guy that you just said as potentially, he's a lock to me 3 weeks and change into the season here?
No, I do like the Draymond inclusion. I think that's important. Defense is important, so... These conversations are important. Everybody should be included in these conversations because we're super duper early. And so, yeah, a lot of these players are playing well. It's great to see Norman Powell included in this conversation.
He would have to be. Again, if you're voting for the All-Star teams today on November 15th, I don't know how he wouldn't be. He's having better seasons than a lot of these guys right now. I think of all the guys we've talked about, the one I feel most confident sort of falling off a little bit as we move forward would be Norman Powell, because can he keep hitting 50% of his threes? Probably not, but he's deserving right now.
Definitely.
So, okay, so my West All-Stars, the starters would be, I think I'll stick with SGA and Luka. We'll keep it Kevin Durant and AD, and then Jokic. So I got LeBron to the bench. I'm swapping basically AD and LeBron. My reserves are Curry, Anthony Edwards, LeBron, Sabonis, and Norman Powell. Storm and Norman. and then I literally left it blank because those 2 final wildcard spots I think are very difficult. Like, is Wembanyama an absolute lock?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
I think he'll be there.
He could be.
He'll be there, but would you have him right now today? I mean, his team's good.
I wouldn't last week.
Yeah,
This week, though.
That's just a 3.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So I have those 2 open wildcard spots. I had it down to Booker, Şengün, Kyrie, DeRozan, J-Dub, and Wemby. And you guys are making a case for Draymond. I think you got to include him.
Yeah, Wemby will have a great case in a couple months, I think. And I picked him before the year because Towns is gone, because Paul George is gone, because Kawhi is hurt.
Yeah.
There's open spots for big men in the Western Conference. But right now, the West is tough, dude. It's not a lot.
I like when you say "dude" in a backwards hat.
Yeah,
Just comes out.
Yeah, sports guys are here, dude. He wouldn't make it for me right now, but he could easily make it. There'll probably be an injury replacement this year in the Western Conference where it could be him.
Yeah. Who would be your wild cards then, as of today?
I mean, the book for me.
Okay. Yeah.
And if it was a week and a half ago before Chet Holmgren got hurt, it would have been Chet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, then does that make you pivot to J-Dub?
The dub.
Yeah. The J-Dub's turning it on. It's going under the radar a little bit.
It is
he
a little,
started slow, and then now it's like, oh, damn. Yeah. Now it makes sense why everybody was picking him as a potential first-time All-Star, right? So
and most improved. He's moving up the rack there.
Your wild cards. You going Draymond?
No.
Oh, man.
No, but I like for him to be considered. Who would I go for my wild cards? I think it's actually pretty tough. Like, I want John Moran in there, if I'm being honest, but he's banged up right now. That's a problem. Yeah, I think Jaren Jackson Jr. definitely was worth a mention. Like, he's been pretty good for the Grizzlies. I would probably default to being a historical guy and go for Booker and Ja.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll leave that for you guys in the YouTube comments. The podcast listeners, first off, what do you think of us constructing these teams, and who would you have as the wildcard spots, or maybe some names that we did miss? Tough to leave off like a Şengün and a Wemby for sure, but a lot of guards there. And J-Dub, too. I love J-Dub. All right, Tess, let's pivot to Worst of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Worst of the Week.
We'll get to several worthy nominees, and we'll debate who should be Worst of the Week. First nominee, the Orlando Magic, for what they gave a fan who hit a half-court shot. It's odd. A fan steps up and hits a half-court shot. What does he usually get? Well, like $5,000, $10,000. This fan got a Franz Wagner autographed jersey. And what makes it even worse than just getting a jersey, this fan put in some work because it was a shooting contest, basically.
Oh, it wasn't just a half-court shot.
No, he had to hit a layup, he had to hit a free throw, and then he had to hit a three-point shot, then a mid-court shot.
Damn.
For the layup, you get a $25 Team Shop gift card. For the free throw, a $50 Team Shop gift card. And the three, a $100 Team Shop gift card. So basically, he got $175 to spend at the store. He ain't going to buy a Franz Wagner jersey because he just got a Franz Wagner autographed jersey at mid-court. Now, it's cool to get a signed jersey, but I mean, you should be
getting something better
multiple
than that.
thousands
Come
where you
on.
can buy many jerseys. That's the thing. That's it. And listen, it was timed too. He banged home a half-court shot.
He was on fire.
He was on fire, and that mid-court shot, it was odd form. Like, he really spread those legs out. I didn't think he was going to hit that, but he banged it home. Dude, he banged it home.
Banged it home, dude.
So,
They yelled, Dennis the Menace!
oh, really?
Yeah. Dennis the Menace.
Is this deserving of a Worst of the Week nominee, just getting a signed jersey for hitting, not just a half-court shot, but like all of those shots leading up to it?
He went 4 for 6 from the field.
Damn.
Oh, good stats.
I can't believe I watched this twice this morning. I had to see what Dennis was doing. Like you're saying, weird form, but it was working for him. It was just a perfect day. This is pretty cheap. I mean, a Franz Wagner signed jersey on eBay is like $100 to $150.
Oh, God.
So you could use those gift cards at the team shop to just buy your Franz Wagner jersey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the minimum the price should be then for a half-court shot? I feel like we talked about this before. Like at least $1,000?
Oh, I was thinking at least 5.
Okay.
I mean, at least $1,000. So at least 5, because I mean, I flash back to like the 1990s. I saw a guy make a 3-quarter court shot and get paid $1 million.
Did he ever get that $1 million?
Yeah, because Jordan stepped in. He's like, you better pay this guy.
Awesome.
I ain't doing it. You better pay this guy. But like, You know, you guys are just talking about watching single league pass games for $6.99. That was the same price back in 2015. I don't know how inflation hasn't hit this. I don't know how we're going from $1 million in 1994 to $150 in 2024. It doesn't make sense. It should go the other way.
They need a business involved that pays for it, basically. You know, a sponsored little segment, little thing going on in it, just in an arena, just to give him $5,000. And this was during an NBA Cup game.
Oh, God. Well, the Emirates should kick in then, yeah.
During a cup game, too? Man.
Very disappointing.
We talked about this a long time ago, where we got angry. I don't know who it was. I want to say it was the Mavericks. I could be wrong. Somebody was giving away a TV for a half-court shot. I remember we went nuts on that. Like, what? A TV? That's like, $300, $400 now. Like a good TV.
Right.
That was a while ago. This is years ago. And so now this is even worse.
Yeah. But
what the hell?
There's some rivals out here in the Worst of the Week nominees.
Okay.
Good.
Next one. Kelly Oubre. It was really weird. He spilled water on the floor, and then he went to clean it. That was very, very nice of him. But when he cleaned it, he also cleaned his face with the same towel. So here you see it smashing the water. Okay, he made a mistake. There's water everywhere. Nice of him to go and clean it. But with that same towel that he's cleaning with, he goes and wipes his own face immediately after.
Oh, yeah.
Very strange.
That's sort of gross.
Very strange maneuver. Now, I mean, his immune system's probably awesome. He's probably working it there, but that's just strange. Same towel.
Yeah.
Wipe the floor. Wipe your mouth.
Didn't even seem to like flip it around the towel
No, he didn't.
or another part of the towel. It was like where he was wiping the water.
Yeah, I don't know if you
on the
watched-
floor and then right to his face.
I don't know if you watched this one over and over, Trey, but I don't think he did flip it over.
I did go in on this. This is like a Taz Mellis special, man.
Yeah, this was a weird one.
Seeing something crazy on the sideline, but he's got a beautiful face.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just trying to bring himself down to our level.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you, Kelly. I liked how he, blew up that water bottle too. He just shook it. That thing
Was it a water bottle?
Did you?
I thought it was a cup.
Kind of looks.
I thought it was a water bottle that like exploded out.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was. Because otherwise, that's even weirder. If he
It
just
is weird.
chucked a cup of water.
Yeah.
I think he chucked a water bottle, thinking, what's the worst that's going to happen? It's just going to like bounce around.
I'm not gonna shoot all over the court. or
Yeah,
anything.
because there was a lot of people that had to clean that up.
Yeah.
I saw that game. So
Yeah, I thought it was a standard Gatorade cup, an empty cup.
Hey, run that back, JD. Let's take a look at that.
I wasn't going to ask him to do it, but here
man.
we go.
Can
'cause
we
got,
do it? Can
we
we
got
do
a
it?
lot of
All
footage.
right, pay attention
look,
to the vessel and pay attention to the towel.
Yeah, who knows what it is?
That's a bottle.
That's a bottle.
Okay. Yep. That's a bottle.
Yeah.
There we get it. Oh yeah, that's a plastic.
Yeah,
bottle.
that's what I'm saying.
It's not a water bottle. Not a.
No, I meant
really
like
weird.
a Dasani bottle.
I don't think the lid was shut on that.
Well, I don't think he probably tightened it enough.
Yeah,
for
exactly,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
hand was on the lid. All right, we're looking too far into this one because we've got a better nominee coming. I didn't think Joel Embiid's new free throw routine should be a nominee at all because I did the homework. And people were saying, well, he's scratching his butt and literally smelling his fingers. I said, no, he's not. He's scratching his butt and he's blowing his hand, which he
Right.
always does. Got here, if you're watching, and then he just blows it. So I went to his free throw routine in this game. He just blows it, and then he scratches his butt again from this angle. You see it, he just blows it. But somebody named Jackson Doyle sent me a great video of him literally scratching his butt and putting his fingers to his nose.
Yo, that he was smelling. Yeah.
Yes, and that's the joke. Everybody around him in the 76ers shoot around is looking at him. What are you doing, man? That's disgusting, basically. They're asking, and he's talking about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking to him about what his smell coming off of his fingers is. So nasty stuff. And definitely a nominee. Because I thought at first he was just picking a wedgie or something.
I think.
And then he was just blowing his hand.
Yeah.
And he was doing
trying to get a little dry.
Yeah, and it was the Knicks game that it looked like something was in his butt where he just came back and he looked sort of injured. And I thought he was just blowing his hand. It was just a standard thing, but people were wondering, what up with this guy?
That's funny.
Oh, he gets it. It is funny. I went all the way around on it. I think it's just a very funny routine. He's the DX guy who does the crotch shot thing. Now he's the smell his fingers after poking his butt.
It makes me wonder, like, what could you get away with at the free throw line as part of your routine? Like, how far could you take it in terms of being silly or gross or whatever before, like, Joe Dumars steps in and it's like, hey man, you gotta stop like smelling your butt at the free throw line. Like our advertisers are not fans. I'm like, I don't know what it is.
You can't reach down your shorts and do sack ball.
Yeah.
That's how we used to get our football coach, John Chernick, back in the day. A little sack hand. Got him. The 76ers cannot be doing this kind of stuff, man. These nasty boys.
Yeah, nasty.
They've had enough injuries right now. We can't be dealing with illnesses picked up off the floor or from the backside. If the Sixers suddenly have a case of pink eye go through the locker room, they're screwed, man.
That's a good point.
So as a funny nominee, I think that one was my winner. But as far as the basketball part of it goes, this nominee 4, where Bronny James will only be playing home games for the G League team, is my basketball winner, because I just don't get it. The Lakers have said Bronny only allowed to play home games when he goes to the G League team with the South Bay Lakers. I just don't get it. He's not playing on the road. What is the benefit of that? He goes. I get if the idea was, all right, he goes and plays some G League games. He comes back to the Lakers, and that whole thing.
Yeah.
Practice here, practice there. Get your shots in. Get your reps in. So be at the Lakers at times. Go down and play with the South Bay Lakers. I get that. That would be my routine, but he has to get better at basketball.
Right.
And that's the objective here. And so why wouldn't he get in more games, more actual reps on a basketball floor? Because with the Lakers, he ain't playing. He gets in practices. And I'm totally fine with him being a late second-round pick, getting a guaranteed deal where he's with the team for multiple years where he can get better.
Yeah, he's not on a two-way deal. It's important to note, where he has to sort of play in both of them. He's not that, like you said. He's straight contract.
They can choose what to do.
Yes, they can choose.
But he is playing with the G League team.
Yeah, he's there. He played.
He played once,
Yeah.
yes. I'll never get it. I'll never get why he can't go to another team that ain't that far. I mean, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for him not to be able to play basketball, because it's clear he has to get better.
Yeah. This is shrinking his opportunity for very valuable in-game experience, like to go play. Also, go play in other barns, go play on the road, travel with your team, that whole thing too.
But
the
reps.
reason is, okay, we know what the reason is, right? Because Dad wants him close, or he wants to be close to like it's either him or Dad. I assume it's sort of LeBron, right?
It's just strange, like Tass is saying. I mean, even some of the reporting, it's kind of mentioning like they just don't want him flying on regular flights. It's kind of what it seems like.
Okay, is it a health issue at all then?
I don't know. I think that's more like he's such a big name that we can't just send him on a regular flight like with everybody else. Mm-hmm. Which is also kind of weird.
That's
but to
odd.
me, it's like, I feel like Bronny should kind of stand up for himself here and be like, I want to play more.
Yes. Yeah,
If
a little bit.
I'm going to get better, I got to play. And that's just not going to happen because, like you're saying, he's like 6 minutes a game when he gets in. It's the very end of a game, which is kind of how it's going to go for him this season. He would have an opportunity in the G League to hone his skills.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as that. And I understand, yes, there would be annoying fans if he's on a regular plane that would go up to him and bother him. And maybe that's what the family wants him to avoid, I suppose. It could be that. But, looking at the G League schedule and where they play, it ain't that far to go to different barns and to play.
No.
And yeah, he should just be able to get a lot of reps in as a better basketball player, because his career has just been short. I mean, he had the cardiac arrest situation with USC, so he hasn't got a lot of reps in as a college player. And now here he is with the Lakers, where he is playing mostly garbage minutes and getting practices in with the Lakers, which is incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could go play for the South Bay Lakers and practice with them and go on the roads with them and get that chemistry going, where you have to develop into a player where you become a more prominent player, a bigger player. And again, this is going to be for 4 years he's going to be there. This is guaranteed money. So it could improve at some point, where maybe this year the requirement is he only stays at home for the South Bay Lakers. And later on he expands. Maybe he just ain't ready for that. By all accounts, it's something that the family wants, whatever the case is. I don't think it matters. I think he should just be playing basketball. That's it.
Yeah, it's strange. And it's sort of deserving, I think, of a worst of the week, or at least it's perplexing until they sort of tell us more.
It's an odd one.
Yeah. All right, so who's the worst of the week winner?
Yeah.
Some good nominees there. I guess the cheapskate Orlando Magic for giving out just a jersey for a half-court shot. Kelly Oubre Jr.,
Yeah.
using a towel on the ground.
He did help clean the floor. Nice.
Nice of him. Very
nice. And
he made the mess, so he should.
Yeah, whether or not he wants to wipe his face with that towel, it's not. I don't
up to
care.
him.
It is up to him.
Joel Embiid sniffing his fingers after touching his butt crack at the free throw line.
That's a joke for him.
Yep.
It's funny.
And then this one with the Lakers only allowing
Good
Bronny
jokes.
to play in G League home games. Let's hear from you, or maybe there's another nominee out there. You tell us. Pick'em game for tonight, Tass. This is big news, guy. NBA Cup is back.
Okay,
It is, baby.
Friday night NBA Cup. This is going to be the first, or a lot of new courts we're going to see tonight for all these other teams that didn't play on Tuesday night. So what game we going?
And when you say NBA Cup and we hear this Hockey Night in Canada theme song,
the Stanley Cup.
NBA should be buying the rights to this song. Every NBA Cup game starting with this. We got an NBA Cup game. It's Victor Wembanyama against the Los Angeles Lakers. That's great stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why that game is our pick.
Okay.
Wemby, coming off a monster 50-point game, going to play the Los Angeles Lakers. That's exciting stuff. It's in San Antonio. The Lakers favored by 2.5. So they have to win by 3 or more. A few of us think the Lakers will do that. No problem. Esh, the only one who's riding with the Spurs to lose by 2 or less, or actually win this game. AD is questionable in this game, but I assume he's playing. He's got to play for my fantasy team tonight. I assume he will.
He doesn't want to play in goggles. I know that.
Ah.
He refuses to play in goggles.
Is that what he said?
I think so. He's like,
He looks cool in them. Like,
Yeah,
he's
he
worn
doesn't
them
like
around
them.
practice.
yeah. Apparently doesn't like him.
The Spurs have won 2 in a row. The Lakers have won 3 in a row. This is the NBA Cup champs from last year. The in-season tournament champs return. It's on ESPN. And the NBA Cup schedule, pretty solid tonight.
Yeah, what do we got?
We got the Wizards at the Hawks. You might think that's not solid, but the Hawks are leading their group after beating the Boston Celtics. Damn right they are. The Miami Heat at the Pacers. Bulls at Cavs.
Twice this week.
Can the Bulls be the ones to knock off the unbeaten Cavs? Suns, Thunder, Wolves, Kings.
All right. Cup action
All
tonight
cups.
on a Friday. A lot of us taking the Lakers. Esh taking the Spurs. Lakers favorites by 2.5 there. Okay, this is the drop. So before we go, we're going to do some rapid fire fun. JD, if you're healthy enough, you have the questions today.
I was a little delirious when I wrote these, so apologies in advance.
When we get to the third one, I truly believe you were delirious. Yes.
Okay, well, we had a couple of celebrity encounters this week, guys. On Monday, RJ Barrett was excited to spot Nikolai Coster-Waldau, Jamie Lannister himself. He said, Game of Thrones. It's a great clip. That was during the Raptors game in LA. And on Wednesday, national treasure Anne Hathaway had her popcorn spilled by OG Anunoby in MSG. Guys, what celebrity would you be delighted to find yourself face to face with? Skeets.
I went with either Tim Robinson or Sam Richardson.
Yeah.
Give
Good
me
one.
either one. Hopefully together would be the best. You want them as a duo, but
100%.
yeah, big fan obviously of them on I Think You Should Leave, Sam Richardson from Veep, and I recently watched The Detroiters because it finally hit Netflix. It's a delight.
It's a solid show.
It is a solid show. So I went with Tim Robinson or Sam Richardson.
Love it.
Go to a
Tassie.
Lions game.
Yeah, exactly.
Always there.
Yeah.
With Anne Hathaway, I'd ask her if I could try on her glasses. I don't know if you saw them.
Oh, I did,
You know,
yeah.
the shaded glasses. I don't like wearing sunglasses indoors, but I'd like to see how sharp those are indoors. Do they improve your vision? What are they? They're slightly tinted.
Bright lights courtside.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd want a pair of those.
Yeah, same.
But who I'd want to have with me is Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's just a nice guy. When America was voting a couple weeks ago, that guy was getting into lines and giving people water. Just 'cause. That guy. What a nice guy.
Seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, so when you ask him questions, I think he'll be open.
Yeah.
He's
Get
not
a good
going to...
conversation with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he'll
conversation.
tell you what it was like being Ant-Man. That would be cool. Or how it was being with Alicia Silverstone in Clueless a long time ago. Or what he thinks of Patrick Mahomes and the KC Chiefs.
I was gonna say he's a big football guy, right?
He's a
is
Kansas
he
City
Is he
guy.
an NBA guy at all?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I don't know. But yeah, big Chiefs guy.
You could convert him, Taz, I feel like.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Yeah, you could be convinced.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah, good one. Trey.
I would want to meet Mike Myers.
Wow.
I don't
The
know if I
Halloween guy or the Canadian?
the Canadian legend. I don't know if I would be more like Wayne or if I'd be more Austin Powers. Because I'd be like, oh man, I love both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Baby. Switch on both. I don't know. I'd love to meet Mike Myers. I've seen I interacted with one Mike Myers tweet yesterday, and I woke up today and my entire feed was just filled with Mike Myers propaganda.
Oh.
I was loving it. I'm not upset about it.
I saw a tweet going around the other day where they were filming some guy. It was his birthday party, and as a sort of a joke, they got him an Austin Powers impersonator.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
I swear we only see the exact same tweet.
I saw that. I saw one today about his preferences in the bedroom. But the one that got me last night was somebody tweeted that in Austin Powers, when he has like the cart going back and forth in the hallway, greatest joke of all time. And I was like, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe it is.
It's very funny.
I don't know how you rank those, but if you ever go like back and forth, adjusting yourself, everybody calls it an Austin Powers.
Yeah, for
and they
sure.
will until the day we all die.
For sure.
Man, instant meme, really.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right. Great one.
I forget the joke, unfortunately. I gotta go watch it right now.
You got to go back.
You don't
and
remember
watch
that scene?
It's been a
Where he's
minute.
just literally just stuck in the hallway and it's like his car is sideways or whatever the car.
When he looks back.
Yeah, when he looks back, it's great.
12-point turn.
Yes, 112-point turn, really. Okay, guys. Michael Scotto, hopefully I'm saying that right.
Yes, you are.
Hoops Hype got embedded with the Pacers the Pacers coaching staff for an entire day in October. This venture included sitting in on a coaches meeting, riding the team bus to Madison Square Garden for shoot-around in the game, listening in to coaches addressing the players before taking the court, halftime adjustments, and what they said to the players after the game. Guys, what's a profession you'd love to be embedded with? Skeets.
I guess with a yacht captain.
Okay, yeah.
I want to know the responsibility of running that ship. So put me out there with Captain Lee on the waters. It'd just be great to be out on the water and go to like exotic locations.
Yeah.
But then,
yeah.
But then there's all the hiring of the staff and obviously dealing with the customers and stuff like that, the service and experience. So I just think it'd be a fun job to be at. Be out on the waters.
You've got your fill of below deck. Now you want to be above deck.
That's right. That's
Very
right.
nice.
Upstairs.
That's right.
Yeah, that'd be fascinating.
And like I imagine he would let me wear like a nice, captain's jacket, maybe the hat too. Maybe I'm thinking about this just because of those clay hats the other night.
Oh, yeah.
They are cool.
Top of mind, literally top of mind. So yeah,
Cool. Yeah.
that's my answer.
I, too, will be transporting, not on a boat, but on an airplane. I'm going to be a flight attendant.
Oh wow.
With the flight attendant. I also don't want to deal with every single customer like a flight attendant would have to, but we get to go to places all over the world rather quickly.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to be with a flight attendant that doesn't just go to one destination over and over and over again. You know, let's have some fun. Let's go to Iceland. Let's go to Greenland.
Sure.
I want to go to Nuuk. I've never been to Nuuk, Greenland. Why not? It looks beautiful.
Why be embedded with the flight attendants and not the captain or the pilots?
Well, you're
Because
locked.
then you can just sit up there and.
You can move if you're a flight attendant. You're a pilot.
a
You're
great point.
locked in.
But you got to deal with people if you're the flight attendant.
100%. That's very unacceptable. I wouldn't want to do that.
So
But
you just want to do the safety checks and make sure everyone's wearing their seatbelts, but you don't want to be serving drinks and that kind of thing.
That's tough work.
It is hard work.
Yeah, that is difficult work. I mean, I would love to be able to go up and down the aisle, like just lunge up and down the aisle, walking around. That'd be fun.
They got a lot
I
of
guess I
freedom
have
up there.
never thought
Yeah,
that
they have freedom.
a pilot. What is it illegal at this point now for a pilot to come out and just do a lap up and down the plane?
Absolutely not.
So so it's not.
They
never,
have to pee. Like, they have to leave the cockpit to pee.
but
It does
I
happen.
can't recall a time of ever seeing my my pilot walk by me.
Well, it's a little unnerving when you see the pilot.
There's always two of them.
Are there? I mean,
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know. It's the door's always closed.
The plane flies itself. It's like a
Exactly.
Waymo, man.
It wants to fly. That's what people say. The plane wants to fly. A helicopter, not so
right.
much.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Two questions I would definitely have for flight attendants are do you like the part when you're talking to the exit row people and you have to point at them? Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that's so weird.
Yeah.
And number two would be the moment near the end of the flight when they say, "All right, flight attendants back to your jump seats, and they got to go sit like super close to another person facing the other way.
Had him the other flight.
How's it going?
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to enjoy these 10 minutes together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get belted in. You're just literally looking at somebody. Do you think the person pretends that they're sleeping sometimes just so they don't have to talk to the flight attendant?
I feel like nowadays with
Yeah.
phones, it's so easy to they jump on their phone, you're on your phone, or you're watching your screen. I had it for my flight from Atlanta to Seattle. We were in that exit row, but then they come and sit right there. Hey, how's it going?
It's like you're being on a train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Is pilot any good? Like, what are you supposed to say?
I always think with flight attendants,
service.
you always think about oh God, the horrible people you got to deal with that are obviously flying. But I'm always concerned about, what if I hate that other flight attendant?
Oh, yeah.
We gotta work hand in hand on this cart. And some of them must just God damn it, I hate this person. Now I gotta spend 7 hours in the air with them. Ugh.
Yep.
That'd be brutal.
It would
Well,
be.
worse for the captain if you don't like your co-pilot.
Ooh, interesting.
Because that, you're sitting next to that guy. Yeah. If he's a talker, no thank you. No thank you.
All right.
All right,
Wait,
did we get everybody?
No, did Trey.
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 Yeah.
Cowboy. What's a modern cowboy do? According to Yellowstone, they just fix fences. But there's 24 hours in a day. It can't take that long. I know you're rounding up some herds.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun to be out on the range, wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Did you watch the
Spurs.
return of Yellowstone?
Nah, I didn't finish the last season.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I need John Dutton to be at the ranch. I don't need him to be a senator.
Well,
Wait, he becomes a senator?
yeah.
Spoiler.
I'm only
There's
one
a
season in.
spoiler even on top of that spoiler, so I'll leave it there. But I just like talking about it with you. So come on, man, get back in on the ranch, man.
I don't know. Once they started spinning it off with every year that's ever existed, I think they lost it. Too many ideas, Taylor.
Yeah. Now he's got a new one called Landman
Yeah, Billy Bob.
with Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah.
Is that the same universe? Is it the same?
I don't believe
is
it's
it
the same
connected?
universe, but it's he's an oil man.
This guy.
I'm an oil
prolific,
man.
eh?
Lioness? Does he do Lioness too?
Is that him too?
This guy.
Tulsa King?
Jeez, is that him too?
Yes, I think
Tulsa
so.
King is him?
I think so.
That
I
is
could
the
be
show that
wrong.
I most want to see what one episode is like.
That's with Stallone, right?
That's Stallone. He looks crazy.
Could you ride a horse, Trey? Are you comfortable? Or I mean, this show famously hates horses, so.
Yeah, I agree. Am I comfortable around horses? On a horse, sure, but interacting with them, I still hate them. Like you're saying, JD. I've never rode a horse anything more than a trot. I've never cantered. I would love to canter on a horse.
That's why you hate horses. You've never never had a gallop?
I've never had a gallop.
It's so
Too
fun.
scary.
Oh
scary.
my god, it's fun.
Yeah, see,
and
I'm not
like
cut out
that
for the
trot
range.
is like a ball buster, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going boom, 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 boom.
Maybe that's the
But
problem. Speed it up.
speed it
He
up.
did do, obviously, 1883, 1923. He did Mayor of Kingstown? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
Tulsa King, Lioness. Good call. Yellowstone, of course.
This guy's cooking.
This guy is rich as fuck. Because doesn't he do the whole thing where he's like, yeah, we'll shoot it on my ranch, too. And I'll get
Yeah.
all, the tax credits or whatever, production credit. I don't know.
He's just smart.
Smart man.
Okay, last one, guys. Prop comedy alert. A guy called Animated Jeff posted this picture on Twitter.
Okay.
It's a summons that he made to report for quote-unquote basketball duty from the New Orleans Pelicans because, half their roster is injured. It's a solid bit, but I have to say I agree with this reply telling Jeff to cut your nails, Jeff. And it's, I've zoomed in on his thumb here, and it's rather long. It's,
It needs a cut.
it's
For
like
a thumb,
Survivor
that's
life.
big. Yeah.
And there's a little sludge under there, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, not the cleanest fingernail I've ever seen.
No. So, if you're going to do a bit like this, cut your nails, Jeff. Skeets, when was the last time you cut your nails?
Yeah, there it is. There's the delirious question from JD. Last night at approximately 8:37 p.m. Eastern.
Wow.
This question got me looking at my
the
nails
question,
going,
huh?
damn, I was due for a cut.
We might have been cutting our nails at the exact same
Wow. Wow.
Because I
Around
too.
8:30?
Well, it was right before the Patreon hangout, so it was like maybe 20 minutes before I was cutting my nails.
That's
so.
exciting.
That's crazy.
Did you do a fingernail wish like I do?
No, what is that?
I've told you guys this before. It's the grossest bit I do to piss off Nora. Collect all your fingernail shavings, and then go outside and do a fingernail wish.
I've never done that, but I'm gonna start. 100%.
Just do it to piss her off. Like, close your eyes, make a wish. I usually do cut my fingernails outside on the front porch. I don't like doing it inside.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Because it's like, because you cut your fingernails, and maybe, I'm still using the generic fingernail cutter, and I know they got ones that collect them and stuff now, but like, you cut your fingernails sometimes and it's like, fuck, where the hell did that go?
Where did it go?
Where did it go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
It's like, is it caught in there? It's not on the ground, or it's not on the counter. So that's why I
Probably
just
on
do it
your
outside.
face. That's what usually.
On my face?
Yeah, just fling and it sticks to your face. Yep.
Well, I hope you would
What a
tell
weird
me if I
angle.
come in here
Of
one day
course
and
I
have
would
a
tell you.
fingernail on
There's a
my face.
I'd go right up to you and say, "Make a wish, Skeets."
Oh, that's super wish.
Yeah.
That's super wish.
Nora must be mad that you're cutting them outside, though. People could see you cutting them outside.
You're not doing your feet up
My
there,
house, my porch, my nails.
It's so
doing-
weird.
Why?
I rode by somebody's.
Why would it be
somebody,
weird? Somebody's seeing me cut my fingernails. Who cares?
I know who cares, but it's just odd that you're maintaining your fingers outside
From
the
the
front.
road doesn't even know what I'm doing.
Oh,
Until they see me go. It gets all over them.
No, bring
I
'em.
did it to the mailman by accident.
Bring them in. Just bring in your fingernails.
So you like clip it and set it to the side.
Yeah,
I'll be back to you later.
yeah.
Oh man.
No, bring them in. I'll compost them.
Move.
You're gonna. Is that a good compliment?
I guess. I think so. I don't compost mine, but I think they would compost.
Hard to tell.
I can't give you my DNA like that. No way. You'll frame me for something.
Tassie, when's the last time you cut your nails?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Because just like this photo that you showed here, I saw my friend Ali, who I was working out with, and I saw his nails were long, wrapped around a dumbbell, and I said, oh, I wouldn't do that. So I immediately, it was in my head. I gotta go cut my fingernails, even though they weren't nearly as long as Ali's fingers. But I'm just not. I don't like long fingernails myself.
You didn't want him to notice your nails.
Yeah, I just don't like them. I just don't like it.
Either.
Yeah, fair enough. Trey, when was the last time you cut your nails?
Last Friday.
Oh, well, let's
Friday,
see
right?
those
We-
digits.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean,
They're fine.
how often do you cut your fingernails? Would you say?
I was wondering.
Yeah.
I was wondering the same. I was like, I'm not actually due right now.
No, you're
No, they
not.
look good.
No,
Yeah,
you're not.
I'll probably do it next weekend. If
Yeah.
I were guessing.
Yeah.
But we had a group dinner last Friday.
Right.
And I don't want to have claws reaching for like
For the
a
steak.
piece of bread or something. You know. That to me is like a prime time for trimming. When you're going to be sharing food with people, reaching a lot of
People are gonna be
hand-forward
seeing your
activities.
hands, yeah.
Right.
Also, to me, like playing basketball, I don't like having long fingernails. I just feel like you're more likely to get your fingernail banged, and
Yeah.
like bugger it all up. And then there's like if you accidentally scratch people and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Don't like that. So.
Did Kevin Garnett keep his
Oh, there are
fingernails?
NBA players that are notorious for keeping their fingers. I
Rajon
think
Rondo's
Isaiah
a big
Thomas
one.
was like that back. Yeah, I think it was Zeke. And they're like pointy, man. Like
Sharpen them.
sharpen them. Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Did you end up trimming your nails? You said last night because of this question, or would you?
Yeah, a
was it
little
on
like
the
I
docket
think it was
before?
one of those things. I saw them earlier this
docket.
week, and I go, "Oh, those are getting
time.
long. They're due," and then maybe put it off, and then I was like, "You know what? I'm doing it. Thanks, JD."
You're welcome.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I went the other way. Like I saw this question, I was like, I did it last week. I could trim them, but I'm not gonna do it because that would be dishonest. But you already had it set up. That was good.
Okay,
Respect.
here's one more weird question about nails.
Okay.
Cutting. Do you prefer to cut your fingernails or your toenails? And I ask that because I still, to this day, despite being a 44-year-old man, I still sort of suck cutting my right hand,
Ooh yeah.
right? The right fingernails.
Okay.
With my
Yeah,
left
I see what you're
hand,
saying.
where the toes, that's all right hand, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're down the hand the whole time, huh?
To me,
That's a tough call.
I don't like doing toes as much because
No.
toes you have to
Toes
do
are
it after
closer
the
to-
shower.
Yeah.
You don't save your toenails for a time.
There are no wishes with the toenails.
I find cutting your toenails tough because like you do want to dispose of them right away. So like, for me, I sit on the toilet and bring my leg up all crazy, try and balance it on like a very flimsy garbage can because I just
Okay.
wanted to shoot right in there.
Oh, wow.
It's not ideal.
Sometimes
but I don't know a better way to do it.
Yeah.
You could put it
you're
directly
saying-
into the toilet. You could stand outside the toilet and just put your foot on the toilet seat.
Yeah, that's what I do. too.
Flush 'em
Joel
down.
Embiid,
Wow.
flush him
Hold
down.
on.
Yeah.
You're saying you basically the toilet seat is down.
Yeah.
You put your foot on the
You
toilet seat.
do the Captain Morgan
And then clip?
on the
Yep.
toilet seat.
But you're
Captain
doing this-
Morgan is right. Yeah.
Doing
Wow,
a Captain,
that one, guys. That's a
Captain
little bit
Morgan.
like Kelly Oubre Jr. using the same towel to wipe.
Why?
your foot.
What do you mean?
Well, your
Why?
test just
Is
told
the-
me. I mean,
the
Tess
water
just told me
treatment
you did it
plant just
after-
scared of the fingernails coming down. to
No,
them?
why? I wouldn't want to be putting my foot on my toilet
Oh,
seat.
I disagree with you, Tess. I do it before I shower.
Yeah, that at least
Because
makes a little bit
then
more
you
sense.
get all the grossness off your hands and you wash it all away. Yeah.
I just
Wow.
don't like the firmness of a nail. I like them to be softened up by water.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Mine are rocks.
Wow. Congrats.
The big question is,
Collagen in your life.
yeah, I need some collagen for sure. The big question is, does Joel Embiid trim his fingernails, or does he just put them in his butt? Because then he's scooping up some stuff there
question.
that he's doing at the free throw line.
That is the
He keeps them there and he's making a little wish
Making
every
a little
time.
butt wish. All right. Wow, that was 10 minutes on fingernail cutting. Incredible stuff, even from us. That's rapid fire, not so rapid, but that's another drop. Hopefully it was a classic. You got to tell us. Let us know by hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing the show. And if you're a podcast listener, we love you. Leave us a 5-star rating and review if you haven't already. I know a lot of you have. We have it's like almost 1,500 reviews there on Apple iTunes. Excellent, which is very impressive. So thank you to everyone that has done that before. All right, we will see you guys on Monday for our NBA weekend winners and losers. Can't wait till then. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Dennis Scott. Remember Orlando Magic's Dennis Scott is getting his Georgia Tech jersey retired this weekend because he just got his degree. Apparently that's a rule.
Oh, that's why. We were
Okay,
debating
cool.
on playback,
Yeah.
like, why have they not retired Dennis Scott's Georgia Tech jersey?
He just got his degree.
Now it makes sense.
His mom said, "I want to see your jersey, Dennis."
Oh, that's cool.
So he went and got his degree 34 years later after leaving Georgia Tech. Pretty cool.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Anything's possible.
That is cool.
He was sleeping on school, but now he's awake. Embrace the weekend, people.